if you are a children writer, hopefully the children love it. That's the most important. Who cares if an agent doesn't like it or not? As long as the children love it, that's what is important.
Welcome to You May Contribute a Verse. I'm Brenna Jennerette, Kidlit author of The Law of Birthdays and Ella's Way Honorable Mention, and the upcoming nonfiction picture book, A Bike is Not Just a Bike, about how the bicycle helped to usher in the women's revolution, illustrated by Michelle Pieria, launching March 3rd, 2026, and now available for pre-order. I'm joined by my co-host, Josh Munkin, dad, Kidlit author, and science communicator. This episode is proudly sponsored by Canadian children's book publisher, Tealmore Press, where every book sold supports reforestation. Check out Tealmore's newest release, Butterfly Sea, written by Cynthia Mackey and illustrated by Marie-Laure Coué. This book is a beautiful cross between sibling relationships and gentle reflection. Check out this title and the full Tealmore catalog at tealmorepress.com, including titles like Naked, Fungi Are More Than Mushrooms, and Supermoon. Today's guests are the author duo Allison and Rafael Rozo, chatting all about their book, Diego Fuego, The Firefighting Dragon, illustrated by Vanessa Morales. We explore the dynamic of not only our first team of picture book co-authors, but also married co-authors, along with their agent journey and where their inspiration comes from. Here's Allison's and Rafael's verse. Allison, it's really nice to meet you in person because, we've been online friends for years now. And I know we have a mutual friend, a mutual critique partner, Lindsay.
Yes.
So we have all of this in common. Yeah.
Who's amazing. She's just, what a treasure.
Let's talk about Lindsay. Yeah.
Podcast about Lindsay.
Yeah. My, mine and Brenna's critique partner as well, but also now my agent Sib and our agency
exactly
Sib as well.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So much. Go ahead.
We're critique partners.
For how long?
All right.
A while.
21
years.
Yeah. Yes, and I was lucky. I was in Providence, Rhode Island for Kindling Words, and it ended up being the exact weekend of her 40th surprise 40th birthday party. And so I ended
29th is what I heard.
You're right. And so I was able to go, and it was just awesome because we hadn't really met in person, because I love how we're all over the place, but it's nice to actually have that in-person connection.
Yeah.
Where does the overlap exist in, don't just jump right into the way that you two work together. Where does the overlap exist when it comes to things like critique partners and critiquing work and conducting those sorts of relationships?
Rafael has no interest in any of that part. Am I speaking correctly?
Yes, you are correct. I like to critique her, but only her.
Yes.
That's how the spousal thing comes into play.
Yes.
Amazing.
Happy wife, happy life does not apply when it comes to artistic output.
Artistic output, no. That's my main job, to make sure that she does things in a way that I like.
Wow. Pointed silence for the listening audience from Allison.
Exactly. No words, honey, no words.
I give a different perspective to whatever we do, and she's basically the main artist and writer. So I want to make sure that she has a totally different perspective from a cultural point of view and age point of view, gender point of view,
rightness point of view. Let's reset and just talk about the two of you and how you work together and who you style yourselves. Where you style yourselves as Rozo Books art.
Yes.
So you are a package deal in family terms, but in also artistic creation terms.
Yes, for the most part. Yeah. There's some that I write that are just me, but it's becoming fewer. And it used to be kind of more me, and now it's becoming kind of more both of us. And I would say really the ones that are more just me are kind of, they're not his taste at all, but I still want to explore them. And some, right, Rafael, it's just not your interest, and that's okay. So there's some that are more me.
So with working with Joyce, then, is it sort of like they represent you as a package, and then also, we'll take on sort of solo projects also, like it's sort of understood like that umbrella is sort of
Well, we're with Alicia. Alicia who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Josh had his mouth open to say that. Sorry, but you are under the Seymour. When he said agency sibs, I missed that part where it was part of the overall as opposed to okay.
Yep. And so from the beginning, she signed both of us, and so that's how. Because in the beginning we had, which is funny, it's our first 2 books that sold were some of the first 2 that she was interested in. So then she signed us both. And so now as we've been writing, I found more and more, that we do together. And then there's a few, so she represents both of us. Then she represents me kind of individually for some. And then, she also represents me for illustration.
Oh, awesome.
It's like a triple deal. Okay. For the listening audience, sorry for if you even noticed any of the whistling or whisper noises. But this is our first 2 people in the same location recording in years. So I'm glad we've resolved that.
We are honored to be that, and honored to be here. I didn't even say that yet. Like beyond such big fans and fangirling.
Oh gosh!
You reach these different things where you want to be. I'm like, that would be so cool. And like, it's happening. So thank you.
Aw, well, that's so sweet.
We put amazing things out there. I followed for years, listened for years. So much inspiration. I just wanted to tell you, I thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, well, thanks, Allison. Yeah, that's really sweet.
I really could for a long time.
Thank you. Listen. Okay, yeah. So now that we fixed our location problem, what the heck were we talking about?
We're talking about agency.
Right.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So how did you guys get agented? Like, what was that journey like? Like, did you sort of query on your own for a bit and then Rafael got involved, or were you always like querying together? Yeah, I'm just very interested. How did it look?
Yeah, because I think our working together has been like an evolution. He always kind of did, but then I kind of didn't realize how much. And then I started realizing like his whole perspective is super important to these stories and adds so much depth. But so I started on my own in the very beginning. And I always loved picture books and always kind of was a dream out there. And I started more in illustration, and then I ended up falling in love with the writing. Well, I needed something to illustrate. So I said, okay, I'll start writing just to illustrate. And I started liking that even more. And I started kind of going into our bag of lived experiences that we've done. And so I started asking questions, especially our one that's unique like you. It's based in Bogota, Colombia. And so the beginning, I had my own stories, and then we started going out together. And I actually got to be a finalist in PB Party. Gosh, I think it was 2020. And that was a story that was just on my own, which that story still has not gone anywhere. It was one of the first times as an agent. And then I would say, so it's kind of like I was going some stories my own, some stories together. And then it's when Twitter was still a big thing. We ended up being on Twitter pitch party. And that's how Alicia saw Diego Fuego, the Firefighting Dragon. She saw that one, asked for more. Then we gave more manuscripts, kind of a mix of some me, some both of us. And she wanted to sign us both. So it ended up being great. And 2 of the first ones that we sent were Diego Fuego, the Firefighting Dragon, and Unique Like You. And those are the first 2 that sold, which are funny. But
wow, yeah.
And we've talked about this a little bit with other Joyce clients, but also other Seymour clients. I'm assuming the same sort of structure or the same sort of framework exists for most of the Seymour agents where, you're very strategic about what you choose and what you send out. Does Alicia work like that as well? I mean, knowing that she sort of tutored or studied or grew under Joyce, if I understand correctly.
100%. Joyce is who made Alicia fall in love with picture books. Because in France, and I love the European style of picture books, but they are different than the U.S. And Alicia hadn't really experienced that as much because she's in France. And she started working with Joyce, and Joyce kind of opened that world to her, and Alicia fell in love with the picture book. So she totally, mentored under Joyce. And so, she's very strategic in which ones. And some she goes for a little longer, just depending on the feedback, and then some we pull back. So we've had different rounds of things we go out with, pull back. I think she's very good with who we're sending out to. It's just, I think it's a tough market. It's a tough, we are in a tough career choice here.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
But I think it's very important to mention that we found her when we start talking about maybe signing with them, we found her very enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah.
So that really said, yeah, she's young. However, she's very enthusiastic about what she wants to do. I think she agrees with what we want to accomplish. Yeah. And that was very important for us to sign, but basically was one of the biggest selling points for us.
Yeah. It's the vision, it's the energy, it's the sort of enthusiasm about the work, for sure. Yeah, that's great. And Alicia is French.
Mm-hmm.
She is French.
Yeah. So, okay, I have to relate this. Allison, you know this. Rafael, I don't know if you've talked about this, but I have to relate the quick Joyce Alicia story. I have to say first, thank you to Alicia for rejecting or passing on a story that I had submitted to her. But in the process of landing Joyce as an agent, I queried Joyce with a French-English bilingual manuscript that Joyce didn't have a vision for. She suggested, as far as giving me a referral, she suggested that I take it to Alicia, who obviously, as we've said, is French. I got a form pass from Alicia. And so what that did is allow me to go back to Joyce with more work and sort of pester them until they said yes. But it's just it was a clear indicator of the enthusiasm level. It's like if I don't see it, I can't put my weight behind it.
Yeah. And there's so many, the thing is, and I feel like this is what we talk about so much. It's like so difficult. You put your things out there into the void and don't hear. Rejections are hard, but at least knowing somebody saw it, at least they wrote back, because, oh my goodness, never hearing back, I think is one of the toughest parts in our industry.
Yeah.
The silence is just, it's rough, especially... Like, I've had a couple of interactions where editors have been really enthusiastic, excited. We've had a call, and then, like, nothing. Like, I do my part, and I follow up, and I'm just like, okay, this is happening. Yes. And then it's like, did you lose my email? I'm checking spam. I'm checking junk. I'm like, you're just like, what do I do with this? Like, it makes you feel like you're insane, which is like, I don't need any more of that in my life. Exactly. So publishing, please, like, stop, anyways. That's really hard. So like Josh is saying, like, even a form pass, sure. You want that authentic enthusiasm too, because that's what's going to sell your manuscript. And then you want to find that, at the editor level also, because otherwise it just, it's not going to go anywhere. If nobody is excited, it's going to be pretty flat.
Yeah. And there's just so many things behind why there's a yes or a no too, that we don't know about when you take the curtain back, which makes it all so difficult too. It's like, what else do they have in the pipeline? And this is like at every level of it, right? Even when you get to acquisitions, then you get to the marketing, like, oh, we have this, though. It's like at every level of it, there's things to think about, which helps and hurts. But I think knowing, what we're getting into. Yeah, we've had one go to acquisitions, and we had Zoom calls. And then at the same time, it went acquisitions with another one. And then one was a pass, and the other, we just never heard back from.
Yeah, like I'm
like, no.
My husband knows, a fair bit about publishing, because I'm always just yammering about, all of the stuff, right? So he gets it to some degree, but I'll be like, this thing went to acquisitions, this is amazing. And then, he'll check in with me a couple of days later. He's like, dude, that's great, right? Like, that's basically like, another book. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I have to temper those expectations. Like, acquisitions, amazing, like super psyched, like that's great. So like, I'll be stoked for a day, and then I'm just like, okay, let's like, just move on, work on something else. Like, it's not a sure thing until you've signed something. And even then, we've seen publishers fold. Yes. We've seen, contracts get reversed. Like, I don't know. It's very tenuous, and you're just like, I want to be excited. I do, but I don't have a book in my hand.
Long process. You have to be very patient.
Which I'm not.
Yeah, which I'm not. Yeah, right? I'm not, Allison. Right. I'm not. Which makes me just, the only alternative is to be crazy.
Yeah. Was there required patience on the part of Diego Fuego, and how that landed its deal, or how you landed that manuscript?
I would say that one's with Penguin, and I would say from beginning to end, they have been perfect. The very first email was like, welcome to the Penguin family. And, they said like, this is the timeline. And basically that's been the timeline. There was only one part with like the first part, like revisions. It took a little bit longer, but not really. They've been very like, this is when we're going to do it. This is when we're going to do it. So hoping, knocking on wood, it stays like that. But they've been, with Diego, Fuego. It's been...
But no, it's still a long process because when they decided to go with the story, this was 2023.
No, 22.
22.
Even worse.
2025. It's 3 years later, and it's just going to go.
But they said from the beginning that that's when they were going to be publishing it.
Yeah.
And I do say they are like, because my background is art and art history. You know, they are curators. They're curating their list, and they have to fit it where it'll fit beautifully with these other ones. So that's part of it. We discuss this a lot too.
Yeah, but for me, for example, it would be, I knew it was going to be a long process, but for me, it would have been fantastic if the book were published last year.
Oh, yeah.
Why last year? Because last year in the Chinese zodiac, it was the year of the dragon. So I wanted.
I thought that would have been so great.
It would be great.
Oh, totally.
Dragon book, the year of the dragon. I think it was cool, but you have to be patient.
That's because he's a dragon. So
and I am a dragon.
Yeah, that's right. You're the personal.
One of the first things that I gave Allison as a gift was a dragon.
Oh, that's really sweet.
A real one, Game of Thrones style.
Wouldn't
This is
that-
non-fiction.
awesome. That's what I want next. Yes.
A real one.
A real dragon.
Mhm.
Amazing.
Total Game of Thrones that.
Those penguin deals makes that possible, right?
Yeah, right.
It strikes me strongly enough to write this down that, you know, it's funny. I mean, Brenda, you said you talked to Jean about complaining about the picture book market and all the ups and downs that we go through, and how Jean, probably like most spouses, like my wife, will nod their head and say like, yes, that's horrible. I feel for you. I have an emotional response based on this situation that you have no context for.
Right.
You both essentially share the same coworkers, or at least the same workspace. So you can't complain anonymously to each other. You're both in the same bucket.
Exactly. Which makes it fun.
Yeah.
He does get what I'm talking about. I mean, I've slowly pulled him in more and more. Because I think at first it was like, oh, what? Oh, what? And now he's all into it.
Right.
So, I was going to ask on that note, like, what is your process like? You know, because you guys have co-written, at least 2 books that are going to be published, probably countless more. How does that work? Because also, one more time to reference my husband, it's my favorite thing and my least favorite thing about him at the same time. He's very thorough. He loves research. He's always really good at what he does. So that's amazing. However, I'm like, stay in your lane. I'm like, do not write picture books because I cannot handle it. Like, I don't want you like coming over. Like he would be like immediately really good. And I would be like immediately really annoyed. It would like break us. So how do you guys, like, I'm thinking about like co-authoring a book and how that would look, because I have so much ownership over my stuff right now, over my ideas and how I want the story to go. So like, what does that look like for you guys? How do you negotiate that?
I think
Waiting for each other to answer.
I know. He always says really good stuff. He's so good at the one. He's good at on the spot, and I'm not as good. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
I think for the beginning, I've been steering the ship, and he's very happy to come in. But then there's some that's just we think of it together, and then it happens like that. I think at the end of the day, you're pretty happy with you give your feedback, and I kind of make the decision if I like that or not.
Okay.
Or
yeah.
Play with it. There's some stuff that you think is really important.
Yeah.
And then we stick to that. But I think he's pretty okay with me making those decisions.
And part of the process of she making the decision is that she's the English speaker. So sometimes
sure.
I wouldn't be able to use the right words or the right terminology, even though I probably have the idea of what I want to say. I may not be able to express it myself in English as well as she would. But if it were in Spanish, probably would be probably no. I wouldn't. I hope.
I think that's really a big part of it too that I really enjoy, because I do go. Sometimes we try to. How many different ways can you say "said"? Right.
Right. Totally.
Like, okay, I have to say this in a different way, and I play with all these ways and play with all these ways. We could do this for hours. Days.
Right.
And I come back, and he says, "Well, I don't know what that means." And the thing is, he's right. Why am I putting things in there that are so difficult? And I love that, because I'm like, wait, you're right. Let me just go back to simple. That helps.
Simple or something like that.
Right.
Again, I have been speaking English for a long, long time, but still there are words that I don't know. There are maybe some terminology that is very difficult for me to understand, and and she corrects me all the time in English, all the time.
He likes it. It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not over.
like I say things and say, no, that's not the way to say it. Oh, I know. Okay, I have been saying it for a long time, but I didn't know.
Oops.
Because sometimes I just do like exact translation,
Yes.
and that doesn't work really unless you are fluent in both languages. It's very difficult to do.
Well, and that's what's been fun about writing these manuscripts too, is, because I know enough that I can think of the words to put in Spanish, but then he comes in, because I kind of, how we rough draft it out and I put it, and then he comes in and is like, no, that doesn't mean the same way, or that gives a whole other feeling. And so then we play with language with that. I feel like we like it. It's puzzles. Like, that's what these picture books are, the puzzles. And then we have this extra layer with the language puzzled. Like, how does this fit in saying the correct words? So it's fun.
When we started Diego Fuego was Allison's idea. However,
that kind of was the genesis was pretty.
But picking the place, where is Diego living? And I said, I know the exact place. He lives in the south of South America, in Tierra del Fuego, which is the land of fire. That's where he lives. So that's the perfect place. And so we start exchanging ideas, and if she likes it, it will be there. If she said, no, that's a boring place or whatever, I will try to argue with her about why it would be an interesting place. But at the end, she decides.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. But I just provide an idea that I think it would be fun, that mixing this character and his name with the land where he lives and things like that, making it fun for the children.
And to what extent is it bilingual?
I think we weave a few words in because we don't want to overload it, because then it's difficult to understand. And we even have gone in and gone out. I used to try to put some verbiage. Now we try to go for more nouns because they're easier to understand. We try to put just enough that hopefully the interest is there for children who maybe don't speak both, and to give a sense of a different world out there, and ones that hopefully can be used in life. So we don't overload it because we don't want it to be too heavy with that, because it might be difficult to read out loud and understand, but enough. And usually we try to, especially those, put them in places where those words will be used. So that there's another layer of it that they take place in a place that speaks the other language a lot of times.
Yeah, that eventually they will hear or use if they were in those situations, basically.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. To what degree do you think it's necessary to have the native experience? And the reason, or native fluency, I should say, the reason that I ask is because having this conversation with you and having tried to write a couple of manuscripts that are, bilingual French-English, I've written one that's bilingual Spanish-English as well, with way more Spanish than it probably should have. It strikes me as presumptuous on my part that, not to have that sort of lived experience or that lived native inherent understanding of the language. I suppose it's not required in the same way that, it's not required to be an expert in a nonfiction field to write nonfiction, but it certainly helps, is what I'm gathering.
I think it's important to use the right words, especially if the reader is a native speaker of that language. Because I have seen many books or documentation where people include words in Spanish, and I really say, this is wrong. Who did this? Yeah. And I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who speaks English doesn't care because doesn't know. Say, oh, okay.
Wait, where we were at that restaurant, it was a very cool restaurant. And they had a book. The menu was a book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And it had a few bilingual things, but it said something for spicy. Something was spicy, and it was the wrong word for spicy. You're like, so you've been told the waitress, like, oh, this is...
Yeah, I told him, this is not the right word. If you try to put it in Spanish, at least do it right.
It was like caliente.
Yeah.
Instead of spicy, picante.
Instead of saying picante, that this food is very picante, which is the right term in Spanish. They say this is very caliente, which is...
Hot.
Somebody just said it was hot. Yeah.
No, it's the literal translation of the word. And that bothers me. Because that's not the way to see it in Spanish. You want to do it right. That's my way of thinking. Now, if I I don't speak Spanish. They say caliente. Oh, okay, caliente it is. So every time now, oh, this is very caliente. You talk to someone who speaks Spanish, that person is going to understand that it's hot, not spicy hot.
Temperature-wise.
So there is a big difference, huge difference for me.
Totally.
Yeah, I got very upset. And at the end, I think the waitress said something like, the owner knows, but he thinks that
He likes it.
He likes it. Okay. I don't like it.
Pick your battles. I thought the waitress was going to say, "Yeah, I don't get paid enough to care about it."
Yeah.
Which word was used?
I think it was still delicious, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it was delicious. Yeah.
Delicioso or sabroso?
But you can use both.
Okay.
Delicioso.
That one's interchangeable.
Yeah, that one is perfectly good.
But we were recording this before lunch, also, so that's
exactly
problematic for me. But so on another note about Diego Fuego, I mean, and Unique Like You, did those ever, Allison, originate or have versions that you illustrated?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thank you, Brenna.
I did. So that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting question. I had 100% planned on illustrating Unique Like You, especially. Both of them are in different ways, but it's very close to our hearts. We were together. We were in Bogota, Colombia in 2009 and walking the streets in La Candelaria, the very old part of Bogota, and cobblestone streets. But around that is the big city because it's the capital of Colombia, and it's huge. And so there's buses, there's all these things, but they have this little area, and there's this graffiti art everywhere, which we love. And we saw this little girl and this mother and their donkey, and behind them was this graffiti. I took a picture, and I said to Rafa, so what does this mean? And that's what he said. It's único como tú. It means unique like you. So anyway, I'm like, there's a story there. In this bustling city, there's this donkey and this mother. What are they doing? Well, they collect trash to either barter, exchange, or sell throughout the city, and I was so intrigued. So anyway, I'm just saying all of this was very close to me, and I wanted to make it all actually out of trash, and I have lots of spreads of it. I cut off trash that I found and painted it, and I love that. But I do feel in my heart I felt almost too close to it, like I was creating exactly that, and I wish I had a little bit more aerial view of what I was creating. But Elisa went out in the beginning, very small. Well, I think even the story was sent to another editor, and we sent my art, and I think we sent it to one other person, and it was rejected a little bit more on the art because it wasn't their style. Maybe the cutout style wasn't theirs. And, it just, at the moment, I thought, which do I care more about? And I cared more about the words and the story itself than my art. And so we went out with it with just the story, and it's held, within a month of it going out with just the words. And I think the most special thing about it, which I wouldn't change a thing, is it's being illustrated by Angie Alape, who lives in Bogota, Colombia, right now. And wow. I love that. And she's, we've seen some of the spreads. And what did you say when you first saw the spread?
Yeah, it's Colombia.
It's Colombia.
Yeah, it's Colombia.
And
she knows where it is, which is very different for if the illustrator is from LA or New York. Because even though they are big cities, Bogota is a city that has 10 million people. However, it's a different city than New York or Chicago or LA.
Or places in South America.
You don't see donkeys in downtown you don't see it. Period. So you don't understand that.
Well, the fence, just how they have gates on the doors, but they're ornate. They're not just plain like New York gates on the door. They have these special wrought iron pieces, and we saw that she had it down. And just having that connection with somebody who's there made it all worth. So yes, I did want to illustrate it, but I love what's happening with it even more.
Yeah. It's consistent with this necessity to authentically represent the culture and the experience. Even to a degree that you couldn't bring, Allison.
No.
having been there and experienced it, but not having it within your blood. So
living it, which is so beautiful. We see little pieces in it that she's put that only some, like the cover is a guy walking with his guitar and a woman with the mark. And I wouldn't have totally thought about that. I'm so focused on the characters, but she brought the world, right?
Yeah.
And I love that.
It's time for this week's book reviews from Josh, Whoever thought standardizing measurements could make for a compelling picture book story? Josh's review is for The Fabulous Fannie Farmer by Emma Bland Smith and illustrated by Susan Reagan. This book explores Fannie Farmer, whose 19th century experiences in finding meaning in her life led to her dedicated self not only to bringing some rigor to recipe writing, but also to empowering the women whose lives at the time were spent in the kitchen, puzzling over what enough yolks as may be necessary really meant, when what they wanted to do was just bake a cake. Fannie is a great unsung hero figure for a picture book as someone whose dedication and passion had a lasting impact on her field, and her story is super well told and relatable, and makes total sense for our Thanksgiving adjacent episode. And my review for this week is a bit of a deviation from picture books, but under the same umbrella. The A to Z Teaching Toolkit, written by critique partner and friend of the pod, Alicia Meyers. If you work with kids, have kids, are a librarian or educator in any sense of the word, this book is a must-have. It's a comprehensive collection of classroom hacks, worksheets, anchor charts, examples, inspiration, and actionable exercises you can use for every environment, kid and learning style. It's a decade plus of teaching experiences, trial and error distilled into the most effective uses, and curated for you and your individual teaching needs. If you haven't already checked it out, make sure to check it out today. Don't forget to get your own reviews and library requests in. It's the #1 way to help an author's sales. And now, back to our show. I have a quick question about just your like illustration process in general. Like, is that, because you said you were sort of finding and collecting pieces of trash and like cutting them out and painting them. Is that generally how you work, or was that specific to this project?
That's the problem with my art. I'm all over the place. That's the thing.
That's not a
trash based.
That's not a problem.
No, but I can say that you recycle a lot.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
And she teaches our children to do the same thing, like use things that may be considered garbage at some point. Why don't we reuse this and make it something beautiful? And I think that is important.
And I think that tied in really well to this story, because it is trash is treasure. Find beauty in the ugly, and for a child's life. That's how you see the world. I was telling Rafael, we were talking about this yesterday, that I remember going to the department stores and picking up these little clips that you fold the things with, and they were treasure to me. And so it's just, I think it's how children see the world, and I want that to be out there. And I try to do that with our own children. But I make art in many different ways. I Procreate. I do. I like to draw on there. I want to get back to more using like acrylic and gouache. I usually like to find found pieces and do things on top of them. So I always have an element of that.
Yeah, so there is some overlap there. Yeah. That's really, I feel like that's a very unique way to illustrate. I'm not in that world, but Are you the reason I keep seeing thrift store paintings with like Bob's Burgers painted into them on my TikTok feed?
Probably.
Allison?
Yeah, right.
I apologize in advance.
I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. Who's publishing Unique Like You?
Unique Like You is with Beaming Books.
Okay.
Beaming Books, sorry, it's really fast.
Yeah, and size and scale difference with working with Diego Fuego at Penguin, but I wondered the degree to which you had, I guess for either book, anything to say or any influence over the illustration, or at least any feelings of tension as you saw the art emerging from these books coming to life.
No, we've not felt that.
I personally am in love with both illustrations. Yeah. I think both of them are wonderful, because also the Diego Fuego, I think is fantastic.
Yes, Vanessa Morales, she is from Mexico City, and she, in her rough sketches of Diego, she wrote that she really wanted to create a dragon that is Western, and she looked at it like Incan and Aztec and Mayan and all these different cultures to create them. So immediately, with all the research, and I said I'm art history, and I love where things come from, studying the art, and we fell in love immediately. And again, Angela Lappe, being from Bogota, was great. Size-wise, I have not felt the difference. Like, Penguin is very big, but they feel like a family. And every level of the illustration, every level of the book, they've asked for input. Even where I almost have said, not really though, because I appreciate it so much. But I've said, if you keep asking me, I'm going to keep saying stuff. Because, I'm going to I love it. Just, I love it. He's like, don't say any more,
Right.
Yeah, even that penguin though.
The thing to say, and I'm like, just stop, Allison, because they love it and they keep asking, and I'm like, no, you're good. You don't need my input anymore. Eating books has been a little different. Our original editor was let go 2023, and so the book was supposed to be 2024, and it got pushed actually to 2026. And then all of a sudden, they brought it back to 2025. And so we were like, but they really wanted it for Hispanic Heritage Month. So that's why it's going to be September 2025 now. So that one's kind of been all over the place.
I'm sensing a pattern, though. We talked to Katie Bennett a couple of weeks ago, and she has 2 books coming out within the same month. Maybe this is a thing.
I know.
You did on purpose.
Seymour thing. Yeah.
Alicia, she had wanted it to be more separate, so she even tried to talk to them, but they both this is what's happening. So
sorry, not sorry. You get to celebrate both at once. Yeah, that's great.
But my opinion, when they said move it to 2025, I say yes.
Yeah.
The sooner the better, because you never know. It comes 2026 and something will happen and they push it back. No, I prefer let's do it.
Yeah.
I get disappointed when they move things back.
I know.
Oh, no.
Well, I think what's been really fun about it, too, because I think at the beginning he was kind of like the whole writing with me thing, like, and now I can see his excitement, and I love it so much.
Because we're getting close.
Yeah.
We are getting close. I think that's
I'm always excited, by the way. Like, at every moment, I have all the emotional everything, and he's more...
I am more like, more realistic. Like, I don't get excited until it really happens. Like, we signed this deal. Okay, we signed this deal. Big, I don't care.
Champagne.
No,
Champagne.
I don't care.
Now we're like, okay.
Yeah. We are going to do it. Okay, I don't care. She's excited. I don't care. Now that this is really happening, now I am excited. Now it's real.
Come at me when we have a book in our hands.
Yes, exactly his motto. Yeah.
You never know what is going to happen, and until it happens, it's
true.
just a plan.
Yeah, that's true. So, Allison, you obviously spent time in Colombia, and Rafael, I'm assuming that is where you are from. Is that right?
That's I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay.
My first 38 years, I lived there.
So how did you guys meet? I just have so many questions. Like, how long were you there for? And, what was your experience like? Like, what brought you there? Just because I feel like that's the root, right, of kind of where all of this is sort of heading, like how it started. Yeah.
Who tells the story better?
Yes.
No, you do too. Goodness. We met at Baker McKenzie LLP, a law firm, a huge law firm in Chicago.
Oh, okay. That is not. I was not expecting. Okay.
I was a litigation paralegal, lots of drama, lots of trials, lots of craziness. And you say what you were, because I never can say exactly what you were.
Basically IT.
Okay.
Providing support for the offices around the world. It's a huge law firm with offices in over 40 countries. So I was basically providing software for the financial system and support for the financial system in general.
And he was brought there, and that's how he ended up in the United States, by Baker McKenzie in the late 90s. Late 90s, they needed somebody to go to Colombia to work, and still at the time, nobody wanted to go. So they had to find somebody who was there already as a consultant. They loved him. They sent him around the world doing IT work, and then he ended up at the main offices in Chicago around the same time.
In 2002, basically.
And that's basically when
So we met in 2007, end of 2007. I like to crash parties.
Oh,
me too, Rafael. That's a good time.
She used to work for the legal part of the business while I work on the administrative part. So we had parties apart and all
separate,
that.
Yeah.
But I had good friends, and they invited me to their parties. So I crashed parties. And that's how we met, in one of those parties. And we went on a date that day, and group date. Like, we went on. And starting then we are together since, basically. Yep. It was a very fast process after we met.
So then, but Allison, you have been to Bogota, you've been to Colombia. So is that to sort of go back and, see where Rafael was from, like you guys were visiting, or how long did you spend there?
I've been at least 5 times, if not more. I think like 5 times.
I would say 5, yeah.
Pandemic has obviously slowed some of that down. I think the last time was 2019. right before the pandemic, kind of. We went. The kids we took Vivia's, our daughter's a baby. Our son's he's only been once. Vivi's been, I think, 3 times.
3 times.
But yes, so we've gone many times back. We've taken my parents, taken my sister, and so they've seen places where he's from. And so, yeah, not enough. We need to go back. We talk about that a lot. But they've been visiting here, which has been nice. So his family likes to come visit us, so.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that was, like Josh said, not what I was expecting. I figured, like, maybe you, like, were teaching English there and met somehow, or, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, that shed some light on just, like, how these stories sort of came to life and the genesis of how this overlap has happened. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing. I'm always interested in
totally different field. I mean, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so different. But
the trauma's still there. It was fun to, use somehow.
Yeah, I had presumed also, because Allison, I can hear it in your voice. You must get comments.
I think it's because we're together all the time. Actually, yes, I have. In Chicago, they said, you're one of because we had this group of friends there. They thought I was Latina as well, but no, I am not. I'm from Ohio, but we're together all the time.
Here too as well.
Yes.
I had mentioned that to you.
Yeah, but I think, and our kids have a little bit too, which I love. But we're together all the time. So he works from home now, and
I have not improved my English, my accent. I brought her down.
Yeah, you're crashing the American party, is what's happening.
Yeah,
I love it.
Amazing.
Okay, so I can't let any more time go by. So you talked about your kids, so I have to bring up this other thing that I wanted to mention, which is your lunch bags, which are like the highlight to me of your social presence is when you post about the lunch bags that you illustrate for your kids.
Thank you. We have fun. That started because right after the pandemic, our daughter got a lot of anxiety, a lot. And she would get herself really worked up before school. And I thought, we need something else to kind of get her thinking about something else before school instead of just focusing on just that. So I started doing the bags because she thought they were funny. And I started doing it so she could color. So she'd like to color them before school. And then it just turned into, you know how with kids, you do it once and it just cycles and cycles. And so,
yeah.
But then I get bored. So I tried all different kinds of stuff with them. And recently now we're doing more. Luca likes it. So I do, we're his friends because they like them now. And so now they have to spin the wheel on them. Now they actually are interactive where they do different things. And then, they have to go on a storyline and he helps with it. But then, they get all zany and then I get bored. So I'm like, I need to do something different. So it's been fun. We do all different stuff. And some I put on social media. Some are so bad because I'm like, all right, baby. I'm ready blank because
I haven't had coffee yet. Just let me. Yeah.
I went through a whole phase of how mommy needs coffee. That was like I think a month of different bags, and where even he was like, "No more," and we know you need coffee. But this mommy without coffee, drawing myself the bag. Yeah, it's what I did, like different artists, and I had them do different versions of coloring the different artists. I don't know. All kinds of stuff, but
that's really sweet.
I feel like there's a story there.
I was just gonna say that's like another picture book just like waiting to happen. Like you've done all the illustrations, you just have to.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many, and they like me to keep them. So there's the whole intention is just it's recyclable art, and yet they've kept.
No, you have to keep them. Yes, they're like tiny little hoarders in training, right? Yeah. I mean, my kid is like this too. He's like, "Are you kidding me? You're getting rid of these shoes that I wore when I was 3 that have holes in them and like caked with mud, nobody can possibly use anymore." I'm like, "Yes, I am. Like, we cannot. Like, what do you want me to do with these?"
100%. And our daughter is way more like our son is.
He's more like me.
Yeah.
He got a little demanding, so that's why some of them I'm like, we'd take a step back because he would critique then my bags, like, "Oh, this is not your level. This is I'm like, okay."
So he's
very presumptuous.
Oh, yeah. He's like me.
Yeah, he critiqued me.
I critique her writing. He critiques her illustrations.
Yeah, yeah. So publishers throw whatever you want at the two of them. They're ready for it.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, right.
They've been
primed. Yeah. Oh my God, the littlest critics are the most harsh too.
Yeah.
Like your kids. My kid is so brutal. I'm like, move along. I don't need your eyes on this story. Like, I can't hear it right now. It's in a rough draft. Just like, I can't hear your criticism.
Brenna, 100%. I've learned that like, I can't read them rough drafts because also they get so attached. And if you change it, They're like, oh, I liked it the first place. I'm like, well, that place didn't even make any sense. Well, it did to me. Well, and Vivi says she still will never get over like how Unique Like You and Diego Fuego have changed. She's like, I just like the original better. That's just what I said. I'm sorry.
I just remember something that Lucas said to me yesterday or 2 days ago. It was yesterday. I coach soccer and I coach them.
Kids, yeah.
Awesome.
And I was watching a video, learning something about soccer, and Luca came into the office and he asked me, what are you doing? What is that? I said, oh, I am learning this about soccer. It's something about safety in the soccer environment and all this, and well-being of the children, all that, because I want to be a better coach. That's what I told him. I said, but you don't have to learn that. And I said, no, yeah, you always need to try to learn and improve, even if you think you are good. I said, no, but you don't need it. You are already the best. You don't need to improve. You are perfect. I said, oh, thank you. So they can be harsh, but after your son says that to you, you're like, wow. Thank you.
I can't help but contrast the positive reinforcement that you got versus the intense criticism that the lunch bags got.
I'm like, yeah, I don't get the same. I don't get the same. Nope.
He probably knows that I'm more fragile.
Way to turn that around into a compliment.
Yeah, see, he's good. He's good with them.
Right.
No,
commitment.
So it's like you never know what he's going to say. And we have a whole book about this little boy, and my agent loves it because this kid is so confident, but he gets so broken, and that's like our son. Like he's just all confidence, and then but you say one thing, he's like, so that's not. Well, I mean, it's both of you. I don't know.
No.
But anyway.
Okay, I also have to ask about this because my kids wear your shirts all the time. So say, is Rogue Hamster both of you? Allison, is it just you? Or what is...
That's just me and my cousin, actually.
Oh, really?
He started making some T-shirts, and so we started talking like, oh, well, should we do this together? And then, so now he's been very happy doing more like the website stuff, and that's what he does. He's really good at that. And so I just do designs, and then he throws out zany ideas to me, and I do the designs then, and he does that other stuff. We have been very lax in it. I bounce around all the time, and so I'm like, that's something else I need to get back into. But it's been fun, and I don't know how to tell you how honored I was with that. Oh my gosh! Like
for the recording, yeah. So in January of last year, my brother had his first and only so far baby daughter, and we were going to visit them. My idea was, and you should go on. Okay, let me get the right link. Just roguehamster.store. And check out the adorable designs. There was an image of a cloud with two rainbows fist bumping each other. And then there's a left one and a right one. And so my plan, and I didn't order them in time, which is my fault, but my plan was to get the baby a onesie with the two fist bumps, and then each of my girls were going to have one of the fist bumps, and it was going to be a whole thing. So it was my poor planning that ruined it, but it's just adorable stuff. And it's what a cool outlet for your art, but also, passive income.
Yeah. I mean, right now, don't make that much with it. Jordy always puts it back into we put it back into having the website and stuff right now. But it's fun, and I like it because I love T-shirts. I'm obsessed with T-shirts. I have way too many T-shirts.
Oh my gosh, same.
It's like books. Like I can't have enough T-shirts. I can't have enough books.
Yes.
And so it's fun.
I will do a lot for a free T-shirt, free event T-shirt. I'm in.
Right?
I'm like, yeah, I'm there. I'll do your marathon. Give me that free T-shirt.
So it's been a lot of fun, and I think, just having like the funny little ideas. It's just one little image. I don't know. I love everything about it.
That is amazing. And also, I really want to have time for the Dead Manuscript Society because Allison has one. Yeah, so I want to make sure we make time for that. Are you ready? I'm so excited.
And how much Rafael is in this one too?
This one's pre you really getting. Well, we were working on Unique Like You and Diego a little bit. This is one of the first ones I was writing, and it was inspired by our daughter, and I made it into a little song. And this is the story. I think I remember you commenting on this forever ago. I went to SVWI conference, and so it's rhyming. So it could be a song or not. And I signed up for one of those like agent where you read the manuscript in front of the agent and they give you critique on site. Right?
Like a live pitch. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. A live pitch, but you read the whole story. This was the whole.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Got it.
And so Rafael said, okay, this will be great. You can do this, but don't sing it. And I said, why would I sing it? That'd be so weird and embarrassing. Like, I would never do that.
And I did not because it's not the way, because I saw her singing this to the children, but they were kindergarten. So it's beautiful. But in this case, the audience are adults. So I said, please don't sing it. Don't do it. Because it's a different audience, yeah.
And I agreed with him, so I sang it. And it was the weirdest moment ever. I will say, thank goodness the whole audience they clapped for me and cheered for me, which was very sweet. But the one agent was like, what are you doing? What was that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that was. Just happened. The other agent kind of felt bad because the one agent was very harsh. Like, you can't do that, obviously, when you're trying to, like, query a story. I'm like, well, I know. I don't know. And the other was like, I liked it a lot. It was very nice. It's a weird moment.
You know your audience, I suppose. Right?
I suppose. Oh,
know who you're singing to.
And I don't know. I have not been able to go forward with it. My agent really likes it. But, I did do I was in front of the whole assembly with all these kids, and it was really great because it was second graders, and it was about perseverance. And the librarian said, can you talk about this? And I said, with picture books, of course. And so I used it at the very end, and I said, this book has, and I queried, what out of it, and no bites, nothing. I said, so I'm going to sing a song to you of a book that, has not made it. And so they're like, oh, and then the whole crowd sang with me. I don't know how many kids, hundreds of kids sang along. And I'm like, that's what this is about. So,
okay. So I think going forward, you need to query this as a singing telegram, like else, right? Like send it out into the world to these editors and have like the quartet there to like say, to bring it to life, because that's clearly what it needs, right? To win over your audience.
Yes. Amazing. But am I actually going to?
Are you going to sing it?
Should I sing it?
Sing it.
Sing with me, honey.
I feel like we built it up.
Now, before you sing it, she also illustrated. She also you have it here.
They can't see it.
Amazing.
Yeah, they cannot see it in the podcast, but you can see it here. So I really love these illustrations because I
did on cardboard in circles like the world. This girl in the great big world.
Oh, that's so cool.
That looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I love the illustrations that she did for this particular. Yeah.
Wow. Those are very
big
cool.
Circles cut out on cardboard. And I made them kind of big because I was singing it to the preschool and the kindergartners and first graders. So I wanted something to hold while I was.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Like, I feel like school visits are, it's all about engagement. And if someone, if you're going to hook them and then you want to get more visits, like, that's such a great way to do that. I bet they were all so engaged.
Before you sing it, I want to make a point that I think is so important for everyone to keep in mind, which is you did this, you performed it in front of these publishing professionals, and I don't know if there were three or more than three, you listed three, but like 2 out of the 3 of them went, I don't know about that. And then
2, but
okay, yeah, and then you took it to kids, and they ate it up. They loved it.
Yes.
Right?
So it just strikes me as so subjective.
Yes.
And this is nothing against the agents, because there's so many other constraints on all of our attention and time than just playing to what we think kids would like. But it's a funny contrast, the 2 places where this has shown up.
And you use the perfect word, subjective. So subjective. You say something to someone and they think that, it's not my style, it's not good, it's not funny. Then to someone else and they love it. There are different people. People are different. And I don't think writers should feel discouraged because someone doesn't like your work. Just keep trying. You will find someone who will love it. And most importantly, hopefully, if you are a children writer, hopefully the children love it. That's the most important. Who cares if an agent doesn't like it or not? As long as the children love it, that's what is important.
That's right.
All right. Well, you can sing with me, honey.
No, go ahead.
Oh, gosh. Well, you guys can sing the refrain. So the refrain is...
Ooh, boy.
All right, here. I'll start.
Everybody at home, sing along. This is another first on this podcast.
Right.
Yep.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want. The little girl. Yeah, I'm going to go slower because I'll change the page first for you guys, if you can see. Can you see?
Oh.
I'll conquer every mountain and stand really tall. I'll visit lots of countries, want to see them all. Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl. Gonna be a pilot and soar through the sky. In an aeroplane, I'll fly oh so high. Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want.
You want the little girl. Thank you. I needed the cue. Thank you.
I'll be a mechanic and work on cars. I'll fix them all up so they'll drive really far. Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want. Said the little girl. I'll be a doctor and take care of the sick. I'll give them lots of love so they heal really quick.
Where
are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
I'll be a dentist and brush some teeth. I'll clean them all up from above to underneath.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Working in an office, I'll do important things. I'll jump into action whenever the telephone rings.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Cooking in a restaurant, I'll be the chef. People love my food and there'll be nothing left.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Allison, I could feel you backing off the singing, waiting for us to take it.
Dancing on the stage, I'll perform a show. How did you do it? Lots of practice, don't you know?
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Going to be a teacher and work at a school. I'll show my students that learning is so cool.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, the little girl.
I'll be an astronaut and blast off to the moon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you all real soon.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
I'll be, actually, choose a word. I'll share my love when I'm a mommy, teaching about kindness. The world's our family.
Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Dreaming every day about what I'm going to be. I can't wait to see where this life takes me. Where are you going in this great big world? Anywhere I want, said the little girl.
Perfect thing to perform to
when you do
kindergartners.
this in front of the kindergarten and first graders, they love it and they sing.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Absolute magic.
You don't have to tell them to sing. They sing. They start singing. And they start singing and they love it.
Well, and again,
That's
going back to the
amazing.
point, this is a story. I mean, obviously, it would be great if it had a book, but it doesn't need a book. You can make kids happy by presenting Diego Fuego and then singing the song.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of my plan with it. It's kind of a nice coming together moment for them. And I love that boys and girls and everybody are singing it. They're very happy. It's fun.
So the last episode we published just last week, 2 weeks ago, was Alistair Haim. And he does a similar thing with his book. He has like this like super secret manuscript that, sort of started it all, but it never got published. And so he has the whole thing memorized and he does it for kids, at school visits. And of course they love immediately that it's like this secret manuscript, that is not put in like, no, hardly anybody else has heard this story. Like, I feel like it's just so fun to sort of bring them into like your world, or they're in on it with you, like that immediately is just like, oh, like really, like cool, like I want to be a part of that, so I mean I think that's so smart. Yes, no, totally.
We had a little boy, we were at a in the stands watching one of the soccer games, and a little boy came over to me, and I think he must have been in kindergarten, and now he's in second. He may have been in preschool there, and he said, "Where are you going in this great big world?" He started singing the song. I'm like, "What?" You know?
Oh,
it's that
I've made it.
It's I framed it exactly like you're saying. I framed it like this one it didn't make it, and that's okay because I still love it, and not everything does, and and I think framing it like that makes it special too. Like you said.
Totally. No, totally. Gosh, I love all that. And I just want to take a minute too to say thank you both so much for coming on and joining us today, because this has been just like so delightful, and you've been so just generous with your time and your insights and telling us about your journey and your books, and I'm so excited to see where you guys go.
And your singing voice.
And your singing voice.
No, thank you for having us. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Honored. Beyond honored.
Of course. And for the first sing-along on the podcast. That was very enjoyable for me. That brought out the camp counselor in me. I've done a lot of working with kids over the years. So I was like, I'm into it. Let's do this.
First and last, we'll have to see.
You're welcome, and I'm sorry. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.